Hey, what's up guys? This is Mike, and I just wanted to make a little video today, a little different than what I've made in the past. There's not really a script or going to be any music, sound effects, plenty of horn honking in the background, maybe you can hear that. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Maybe this will be the last time I do this, but yeah, I just wanted to share with you some of my thoughts and observations from my most recent meetup that I attended this past weekend on May 18th, Saturday. Here in Los Angeles, down at Venice Beach. It was the Los Angeles Tech and Startup Meetup BBQ, and it was a really interesting experience. It was a great event. I really enjoyed being there, and meetups are a great way to market the DigiByte blockchain. I feel it's very effective. It's of course, we're open source, decentralized, non-ICO blockchain, so we don't have any real marketing funds to do some of the things that some other projects are able to do. And of course, we're global. It's all internet-based, but being in front of someone, talking to them directly, person to person, I think is a really effective way to let people know about all the great things going on with the DigiByte blockchain. And this event was a lot different than some of the past meetups I've attended, both as a guest and someone to give a presentation. Meetups I've gone to in the past have been great. I've really enjoyed them. They're really relaxed and really inviting. And I say that as someone who, I don't consider myself really a social person. The first meetup I went to was almost a year ago. I almost didn't go to it just because it's easier just to stay home and watch Jeopardy. But it's important to go to these events, and because you learn a lot, you meet a lot of great people. And it's an opportunity to talk to people about great projects such as DigiByte. And before I get into it, I do want to make a quick shout out to Laura Taylor, who so many of you know her as LT Loves Digi on Twitter. Great lady, super sweet, and a real treasure to the blockchain community as a whole. She was able to send me some additional literature on digi-id, which was significant, and I'll get to that in just a minute, but also for Change Angel as well, and also some more stickers, and also a DigiByte banner, which looked great. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to hang it up because there was no way to hang it, but I was able to lay it out on top of the tablecloth and made a nice little backdrop for all the stickers and buttons and things that I had there at the table. So yeah, this particular meetup I targeted specifically because it wasn't specific to blockchain or crypto. It was tech and startup, and I feel it's important to get out there and kind of get beyond the crypto bubble, if you will. Once you're at these events that are specifically just for crypto and blockchains, you're kind of you're preaching to the converted. You're among friends, which is great, but I think it's important from a marketing standpoint to kind of turn around and look outward to try and educate and bring awareness to people who may not be familiar with this particular technology or the DigiByte blockchain itself. So this, I felt, kind of met that criterion, that it was on the bleeding edge of that. Of course, blockchain is just a small little sliver of the overall tech environment. The experiences I had were, they ran the gamut between just general indifference. There's people that walked up past the table and just kind of took a quick glance, and then they just kind of moved along, which is fine. And there's other people that came up and they were familiar with blockchain. Some of them, hold other coins, but maybe, they had never heard of DigiByte or just weren't familiar with it. So it was great to talk to them as well. There were others that really weren't that interested in DigiByte as a cryptocurrency. But as I talked to them more about the technology behind it and talked to them about things like digi-assets and especially digi-id, they were really interested. I would have to say digi-id was the #1 topic of discussion that day, and that was the flyer that people took the most. I think that really piqued people's interest, and I think from a marketing standpoint, that's something that we need to continue to push, because digi-id is such an effective tool and can really bring people into the blockchain space that might shun it otherwise just because they don't like or don't understand or aren't familiar with the cryptocurrency aspect of it. So yeah, those were the two hot topics, definitely digi-id and digi-assets. Some of my other experiences from the day. It just kind of varied. Let me just pull up my notes here that I jotted down here. There are two conversations I wanted to touch upon that I thought were really interesting for different reasons. One was this gentleman approached me, and he was familiar with blockchain technology. In fact, he said he was trying to do something with music coins. He was involved in music, and he wanted to do something to kind of bring the music coins together through either an exchange or something. I wish I got more information from him. It was one of those weird kind of dynamics because there was another guy at the table at the same time, and I'm not sure if they knew each other or if they were acquaintances, but the conversation zigzagged a lot. So I was telling him about digi-assets. I thought that was something that might benefit him and what he was trying to do, and he seemed really interested in that. But the point I wanted to make is that while the other guy was talking, the first guy pulled out his phone, and all of a sudden his face lights up, and he's like, "Oh my God, you guys are like number 53 on CoinMarketCap." And I was kind of like, "Yeah, I know. Yeah, we've fallen down a lot lately. We were up to like 30 something." But he was legitimately impressed by that number. I know a lot of you watching this might think, "Oh, well, he was just mocking you. He's just trolling you." But I never got that vibe at all from him. He seemed really genuinely impressed by the fact that we were in the top 200 of CoinMarketCap. And he seemed genuinely interested in the blockchain itself. And at the end of our conversation, he took a button and even put it on right then and there. And that was great. Another conversation I had was with a guy who approached me. This was kind of early on after the event started. And to his credit, he was upfront about it. He's like, "Yeah, I don't believe in this stuff." And he said he's a full stack developer, so it wasn't just some random guy who's not familiar with the technology. But he referred to it as a Ponzi scheme, and I countered with, "Well, let's discuss the definition of a Ponzi because it's not possible for it to be." And so we kind of agreed on that point. But he did make some valid points about certain exchanges, the volume, where they can just control the price, and I think that's a valid point with a lot of these whales that can manipulate the price, and the fact that these exchanges don't have circuit breakers the way that like the NASDAQ does, where I don't know if it's like 5% drop, the whole exchange just shuts down. Which my counter was like, well, does that mean that there's honest price discovery in a stock or any kind of asset for that matter if the exchange that it's on can just shut down trading if they feel that the value is dropping too much too quickly? And then we went back and forth for a while, and another point he made was that because it's all open source, that the institutions and banks will just take the technology and create their own coins. We talked about the JP Morgan coin, and there's that rumored Fed coin, whether or not that ever becomes a thing. And I countered that, well, this is why an open source blockchain is so vital to the industry. That if it's something that becomes centralized, then that could become a problem. And we kind of went back and forth for about 20 minutes, and towards the end of the conversation, he alluded to almost apologizing really because I'd taken up so much time. And there was a moment where I might, got a little annoyed because there were people coming up and approaching the table and taking some brochures. Maybe they had some questions, but saw that I was in a conversation with this other guy. But I told him, I was like, "Look, man, I appreciate our conversation, even though I don't think I converted him maybe to become, run out and start buying Bitcoin or DigiByte. But I told him, I was like, this makes me better at what I do. Like I said, we're not always going to be around people that are into it or as excited or as interested as we are. We're going to come across a lot of resistance as we continue to market the blockchain industry and the DigiByte blockchain. And, it makes me a better marketer in that I can more effectively push my ideas and my point of view in a persuasive way. I mean, it's easy to just tell someone, "Hey, you're an idiot, you're wrong, F off and leave me alone. I'm here, I paid for this table, let me shill what I want to talk to people about." But you're not going to win any hearts and minds doing that, obviously. So so at the end we just agreed to disagree, but it was a cordial and civil conversation, and I think that's very important, especially as we move forward with marketing the blockchain industry and marketing DigiByte. So I do strongly suggest to anyone out there, if there are meetups in your area, to go to them and meet some of the people that are in your local area that are into blockchain and into crypto, because the people I've had the pleasure of meeting. They're all sincere and honest people. You know, there's a commonality between us all. You know, because we're all seeking a better world and transparency and honesty, and blockchain can provide that in a lot of ways. And if you're in a position to even give a presentation at one of these meetups, even better. You know, feel free to reach out to either myself, and I mentioned Laura Taylor. She's great. She even has a Telegram chat dedicated to meetups. I'll put that in a link below. And reach out to us. You know, if you need notes, a script, slides for PowerPoint. You know, we're all here to help each other. You know, I've even got a lot of swag left over. So if you need buttons, stickers, magnets. You know, or even the banner, I'll be happy to ship that out to you as well. So yeah, it was a good experience overall. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I was able to reach out beyond the blockchain and crypto meetups. I will continue to go to those because they are great. In fact, there's one tonight. Today is May 22nd. It's Bitcoin Pizza Day. There's a great one down in Blockchain Beach, down in Santa Monica, California. I've been to a few of theirs in the past, and they do great events. I won't be able to make it tonight, unfortunately, but tomorrow night down in Long Beach at Blockchain Plus, I'm going to go back there tomorrow. They always have great events. They're the ones that hosted me last month at their monthly event to give a presentation on DigiByte. So I'm looking forward to going back to that. And then next Thursday down in Irvine, California, the Cryptos and Tokens guys are having another meetup, and the meetup I went to previously was great. They're a great bunch of guys. So definitely check out meetups in your area and visit them and give presentations if you can. And once you're at a point that you're comfortable, you know, begin kind of let's turn things beyond just blockchain and crypto. You know, we got to get out there into the world to talk to people who are in the cybersecurity field, to talk to them about digi-id. You know, the small businesses. You know, to talk to them about different payment solutions. You know, talking about DigiCafe, yeah, there's so many out there. You know, depending on your area, of course. And if you don't have one, then well, just go out and create one. You know, talk to your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers and colleagues, and let them know that, hey, this is something that is worthy of your attention and your time and worth looking into. Whether it's an investment point of view, or just if they're into tech, they're looking for something to develop. They need a way to execute smart contracts for their business. The possibilities are limitless. So anyway, just want to share a few thoughts with you guys about this particular meetup, and let you know that it was really interesting just to see the various perspectives that people brought. Going back to the guy that looked at CoinMarketCap. The reason why I bring that up is because when we're so focused, when we're just inside this bubble of crypto Twitter or the Telegram chats, that becomes a thing with everyone. Like, oh my God, it's like every day we're dropping, and it's like, when you get beyond the bubble, you see people like, this guy, he thought it was cool that we were number 53. So, CMC is important. Personally, I don't follow it that closely, just because, from an investment point of view, I'm in it for the long haul, for a long-term hodl. But it matters. So, but again, this guy brought a unique perspective, I thought, just in terms of him, being from the outside looking in and saying, hey, it's great that you're number 53 on CoinMarketCap. Whereas, a lot of us in the Telegram chats might say, oh my God, the sky's falling because, the price is dropping and our rank is dropping. And, and then of course the other guy being a no coiner. But, we're going to come across those, and we have to be able to talk to them in a polite, professional, and cogent way to express our opinions and our point of view in a way that we can hopefully persuade them down the line to change their opinion. So anyway, go ahead and leave your thoughts and comments below. If you think this is something that, if you think it's a good idea to pursue these meetups. I'm going to go and cut this short because it's starting to rain and I don't want to get wet, nor do I want my camera to get wet. But anyway, thanks guys for all your support and checking in. Make sure you like, and please consider subscribing while you're here, and we'll see you on the blockchain.